I would do anything just to get you back again. I would do anything at all. I know I'm not innocent, you deserve a better man, but let me just hold your hand once more. Ooh, 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 I wanna take you out. Ooh, 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 show you what I'm all about. Ooh, 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 make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. There's a new part of me, a part I want you to see. You haven't seen the best of me, I know. You can try to fool yourself, like you love somebody else, but you and him will never feel the way we do. Ooh, 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 I wanna take you out. Ooh, 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 show you what I'm all about. Ooh, 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 make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head.
First one, chisel all the memories, the venom and the remedies, yeah. Promise I won't forget, yeah. Maybe it's something in the water, yeah. Or maybe we just hit the end.
I would do anything just to get you back again. I would do anything at all. I know I'm not innocent, you deserve a better man, but let me just hold your hand once more. Ooh, 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 I wanna take you out. Ooh, 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 show you what I'm all about. Ooh, 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 make up for what we lost. Tonight is the night that we're gonna fall in love. I don't care about you and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head. I don't care about you and him, I don't care about what has been. I only care about your soft skin, cause we're still sleeping in my head.
We timed that so well.
We did, relatively well. Hey, everybody.
I have to fix this.
How's it going?
Hello, everybody. How are you guys? How are y'all? We decided to rock beanies today.
Beanie day. My husband got me this for my birthday. It's a
You
Carhartt.
look so cute in your pink beanie.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lauren says your interview was so good. JJ, we love that.
Thank you, Lauren. Yeah.
It was a great interview.
Thank you.
That's how I feel. How are you guys? You're making a beanie right now. I love that. I'm drinking coffee. I'm kind of tired from my workout today. Same.
Yeah.
Same. All right, everybody. Let's talk about it.
Let's go. We will not be using any names other than the name Marco.
Yeah.
We will not be using the debater of MLM's name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So please don't use his name in the chat, in the comments. Okay. All right. Where do we even start? One, I want to give Marco, I don't want to say shout out. That sounds kind of weird, but I respect the fact that he handled the debate the way that he did.
Yeah. I mean, he's just asked a bunch of women to debate him, not Marco. The person Marco debated, and
props.
And women can't debate this person because this person hates women. But Marco was the perfect person to do it.
Yeah. Marco may make an appearance here on the live stream here later. When JJ and I were talking about doing this yesterday, I feel like I can speak for both of us on this. JJ? I feel like I can speak for both of us. Like, we wanted to chat with you guys because we know that many of you probably were triggered by it, especially the end of it. And we ultimately just wanted to connect with you guys, answer any questions that you have, and then just kind of talk about it a little bit, you know? So
mentally exhausting is a good way to put it.
Yeah. Big DC says big feelings for sure. Yeah, there was a lot. It was all over the place. Yeah, when I was talking to my husband about the debate and that it was happening prior to Saturday, I said, well, what do you think is going to happen? Because obviously my husband and I have talked about the situation and the content said individual puts out, not Marco, obviously. And he said, well, he's going to get mad. He's going to get mad, and we're going to see him get mad on video. And I was like, yeah. But as I was sitting on the couch watching it, as he addressed us the way that he did at the end of the video, my husband was just like, see? Not that makes it okay. And I know I'm laughing about it, but I'm not laughing because it was funny what he was saying. And also at the point where he said to Marco, you ask questions and then you need to shut the F up. I was like, okay, so he realizes that he's not winning this debate. That's just my opinion. I don't know. What do you think, JJ?
I have a lot of thoughts. I'm not always sure how to word them. It was awesome.
You thought it was awesome? Okay.
I did. And the reason is because I've been dealing with what y'all all saw last night behind the scenes for months. And I feel like when I tell people about it, they don't get it. Like, they're like, oh, that's bad. Like, it sucks. Nope. You get it now, which I'm sorry that you do. But I think that this video being out there for the person Marco debated is so bad for many reasons. Contradiction the entire time.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, this is an important question I think that we need to address just really quickly. Sorry to interrupt you. What are the trigger warnings?
I don't know. I guess we could just say it if we decide to talk about anything specifically. Like, before we talk about it, we could just say it. If we decide to be specific.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think a trigger warning, because we're going to be talking about it, misogyny. Absolutely, because that was quite apparent the
Yeah.
entire video.
I think if we get like specific, then we can, for specific part, we could like be more specific on the trigger warning.
Yeah, okay.
But as of now, I'm not talking about anything in particular right now that I think would. Oh, for the debate, everything you can think of.
Seriously.
Yeah, the limit for the debate, everything you can think of,
And not from Marco, just to clarify.
No.
I don't want it to seem like
Marco's great.
Marco did a great job.
I think that this person doing this debate, it looked really bad on them. So
yeah, I'm just going through and I'm starring any questions because I know that we're getting a lot of questions and I want to make sure that we answer them. So
yeah. I guess I didn't expect anything less.
My mole says hello.
We spent a lot of money on that live.
We did. And you know what? It was money well spent.
Well, I mean, yeah, I was dropping comments, $2, $5 comments left and right, because I felt it was fun. I enjoyed it. I hadn't been able to say lots of things, and I wanted to say things.
All right, so let's start addressing some questions. If you have not already watched the debate, you still can on Mark. I'm glad it was on Marco's channel.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll face any consequences, or will it get swept under the rug by his company, like the situation with JLW? I'm going to answer this in two parts because, yes, it's both MLM, they're both MLMers, right? But I do think that there's two different things. One, to address the stuff with JLW, I think that it's really important that we as a movement start talking about Prove It and start highlighting the fact that Prove It is not really doing anything. And this blanket email that they're sending everybody that sends information in that says, oh, well, we've opened an investigation. Okay, we're going to need more than that, because as many people that are covering this and knowing what we know is coming, it's just going to get louder. It's going to hit mainstream is what I'm trying to tell you guys. So I think it's important that we highlight it. I think it's important that we Prove It accountable, and then we get louder as a movement when it comes to this. Okay. The other part of this is, do you think he'll face consequences? And I am going to say yes, because of the intensity of that debate and the personal attacks and all of that stuff. I do think that there will be some sort of accountability. Yes. JJ, what do you think?
I don't think in a way that we'll see it necessarily. Like,
yeah,
accountability wise, I don't think Juice Plus is going to do anything. I mean, what are they going to do? Like, they don't care. And if they do something, I would be completely shocked. I think that there will be stuff that we don't see, or that maybe you and I see that others don't.
Yeah.
That will be consequences for him, because we've already seen a little bit of it. But overall,
yeah, we are. I love that.
Yeah.
We've already seen a little bit of it.
I don't think it will be that big.
Yeah. Oh, this is so kind. Thank you so much. Side note, loved both of your videos with Marco. Thank you. We really had great conversations with Marco. Her and I've talked about that a lot, actually, just what that experience was like. And we had great conversation. And most of that was cut out because we were talking as, fellow content creators and different things like that. So it was pretty cool. Aaron, off topic. I love your mug. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
If you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm messaging Marco.
Oh yeah, good.
That's what I'm doing.
Yeah, I mean, does you? Yeah.
Okay.
We can have them hop on whenever. So let's talk about. Oh yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
There's just other questions. First off, wait, before we do that one, I want to thank Diesel Darlin. I don't know who this was for, but thank you.
Yeah, thank you. We
Super
appreciate
chats, super stickers. We really, really appreciate them.
Yeah.
And Perfectly M said, did y'all see that the person deleted all of his tweets? Oof. Deleted all of his tweets. Really? Oh, I didn't mean to hide that.
That's interesting. Very, very interesting. I wish I could say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I'm not. He's deleted things or made things private or unlisted them or whatever. I know that for a fact because there were videos that used to be up about JJ that no longer are there. So I know that that's happening.
I definitely know there are some there. I don't know if I know that you said there was one that wasn't. Let me double check.
Yeah, all of them about the debate or all of his tweets in general. That's a great question, Savannah. If feel free to elaborate, whoever commented that about the
I'm missing something, aren't I?
I love that so much.
Yeah.
I think just because we don't want to platform him here, you know, we'll talk about Marco, we'll talk about the debate, we'll talk about all that stuff, but JJ and I don't want to platform him here. You know, I thought he was
there's
good.
4 videos about me. I don't know if there was more than that.
Let's talk about the debate and what was happening during the debate. Like, one thing that I noticed was the use of false equivalence fallacies. He was trying so hard to use false equivalence fallacies that don't have anything to do. I didn't mean to actually do that, but hey, okay. That didn't have to do with the example. You know, they were there to talk about MLMs, and he spent the majority of the time, in my opinion, trying to deflect and to discredit Marco. And I also want to say that, like, whether you've been in an MLM, whether you have never been in an MLM, or you went through an experience where somebody, you know, you lost a relationship. I know JJ lost a relationship. I know Marco lost a relationship. I know many of you have had similar experiences with somebody in an MLM that you used to be close with. And I'd like to say, just to clear everything up, if you are a part of the movement, whether you were in an MLM or not, your opinion and the use of facts and data and statistics to back that up matters. It matters.
Yeah. Really, really quick, I just want to say a big thank you to Alexandra, who sent us both this. That's really nice. Thank you so much. Also, happy birthday. Happy 30th birthday, Alexandra.
Thank you so much. Happy birthday.
Everyone,
That's
happy
super
birthday
kind.
for Alexandra in the comments. That's so
awesome.
Also, I like what Savannah said earlier. She said I'm going to find it, Savannah. I don't think I saved it because I'm a dork. He is unworthy of attention from here on out. I think that's really good. And that's been my goal, is to not give this person any attention. That's why a lot of you don't know about it.
Yeah.
If you know about it's probably because you're a member, or you've just seen it somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was shocked by the number of times he brought my name up. Literally shocked. I had no idea that he was so fixated on me. And so that was quite a shock.
this is how I think he works. And I told Aaron this already. I don't think it's just an Aaron thing. I think he fixates on a particular person for a particular amount of time. Like he had just done a video over Aaron and Marco's interview. And so he had her on his mind. Like whenever he was doing everything to me, it was like multiple videos back to back, reels, Instagram. Like he fixates on someone for a while and
tagging you in stories back to back to back to back to back.
Exactly. And just like tries to bully them as hard as he can to hopefully make them stop or quit. Like seems to be his goal, to make them want to stop. And then when he gets tired of it, he'll move on. Or when he finds a new target, he'll move on. And then sometimes he comes back around. But a lot of times he just does a fixation thing for a while where he fixates.
Yeah.
And then he'll move on and then fixate on someone and then he'll move on.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
One thing I think is really interesting is, and maybe and of course this is just my opinion, but one of the reasons that I think maybe he is so mad or seems to be so mad at me, because he keeps bringing up my name, which is interesting, but I think the fact that I have so much experience in MLM, multiple companies, 13 and a half years, was successful. And also because I was on Jesse Lee's team and used all of the systems and did all of the work and worked 24/7, just like I said in Marco's, in my interview with Marco. I think that that's damning evidence, and I almost feel like because of that, it's triggering his cognitive dissonance. Maybe I could be way off, but I just feel like because of my experience and also JJ's experience too, she was successful in MLMs. And I think that that's just evidence. And that's why the ad hominem attacks came out. And that's why, he said what he said, because I feel like he didn't have another argument, So, yeah.
That's a good question. I don't know if I want to answer it. I could. And I did multiple times on the live. So if you saw it, you saw it. Yeah. I don't know if I want to be specific. Also, it's just a guess. It's a vibe.
Let's see. We have some questions here. Okay. Was Marco prepared for the personal attacks? I felt so protective in those moments, Ugh. And Marco reached out to both JJ and I immediately after and apologized. I understand why he apologized. I appreciate the fact that he apologized, but I don't think the words weren't coming from him, although I understand why he did it and I appreciate it.
Yeah. I think it was more of like, sorry for giving this person a platform to attack you. Yeah. And I appreciate the apology. Like you said.
Yeah. I don't think he was prepared.
Yeah, I don't think he knew, because him and this person that he debated had a lot of conversations that were not how he acted, because this person he debated acts much differently towards Marco than us women who are anti-MLM. Yeah. So Marco had never really experienced the hate that this person spews. That's pretty bad in the same way that we have. And I think he was just as shocked as a lot of y'all were whenever it happened. So
yeah. But I mean, I think that's a good question. Tina wants to know if we're okay. Yeah.
I'm solid. I've been dealing with this stuff for a while.
Yeah, no, we're good. I just kind of like what JJ said at the beginning of this. I'm grateful that it happened because the video is not edited. It was a live stream, and I just feel like he showed his true colors, and I don't think it's going to age well.
Yeah, someone asked where we can watch it. You can watch it on Marco's channel. Always Marco. He might hop in on this live for a little bit.
Did you send him the link?
No, okay. I just told him to message me whenever.
Okay.
I'll send him the link right now.
Yeah,
cool. In case he wants to.
I mean, and you guys have questions for him too.
Yeah, he also said he was down for Wednesday.
Okay.
He wanted to.
What he did to Jessica was terrifying. Agreed.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was
Well, and it's another example of an ad hominem, or not an ad, well, kind of an ad hominem fallacy, but especially a false equivalence fallacy. The things that he was saying, and I'm not going to repeat them, obviously, but things that he was saying about Jessica's kiddo that was trying to raise money, you know,
that was like so
false equivalence fallacy. And if you don't know, if you know, please don't put that in the comments.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like we don't
yeah.
need to repeat that rhetoric. Just know it was a vile false equivalence fallacy.
Yeah. Also, let's just make sure, like, I want y'all to know to not ever even a little bitty twinge of blaming Marco. There's zero, like, Marco did nothing wrong. And I think sometimes people want to be like, well, maybe he shouldn't have done blah, or maybe this shouldn't have happened, or maybe like, you know, but Marco did absolutely nothing wrong. I actually think, please know that while I know a lot of y'all are concerned, I am very glad this happened. Like, you have no idea how glad I am that that happened. So and Marco, like Aaron said, directly when he, I think like right when he pressed the end button for the live, he messaged us both separately. And he, you know, I mean, Marco can talk for himself whenever. He said whenever we're ready for him. So I'll just, whenever you're ready, we can, I can send him the link. But
yeah, whenever. I think, I mean, one, we just wanted to make sure you guys were okay because we saw your comments. I know you saw our comments and our super chats we were sending Marco, and many of you were doing the same. And we just wanted to make sure you guys were okay. We wanted you to know that we are okay. We were unaffected by it. Yeah.
Also, Janet said, no, Marco didn't do anything wrong. We aren't saying he did. I'm not saying you said anything.
Yeah.
Don't, like, I've seen a few things where, you know, and you might not have seen it, but I have. So I'm going to say something.
Yeah. Let's see.
Look at the comments.
Are you both doing okay with the ad hominems that were directed at you? Absolutely, yes. I know we kind of already addressed that, but yeah.
It's been going on for a while, so yeah.
JJ has dealt with it a lot longer than I have, but both of us were
kind of like we were voice messaging. Aaron and I were voice messaging back and forth.
Yeah.
We were like
FaceTiming, voice messaging.
Oh yeah.
Several chats actually.
Yeah.
Discord was going absolutely bananas. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I found it really interesting. I want to talk about this too. I think this is directed to the person that Marco was debating, but
yeah,
I found it interesting in the debate when Marco kind of switched what he was doing and started to kind of use the strategy that the other person was using. And when he said, well, how come you're not a millionaire? And you could see the flip. And that was when he was trying to say, well, why is being a millionaire the standard? Well, I don't know. Why is that? Because that comes from MLMers. That comes from these companies, the 6 figures, the 7 figures, the $1 million earner, you know, that comes from the companies. That comes from the leaders. That doesn't come from the anti-MLM movement. Like, we're not saying, well, this is how you know if you're successful. What? So I would love to know if he's at the top of his company. I'd venture to say he's not. And again, I'm not stating that as fact, just my opinion. I also would love to know how many women are in his downline. And if there are women in his downline, I hope they watch that debate. And I hope they cancel their account with Juice Plus. Just my opinion. Yeah. Agreed, Tina. Agreed. What are you doing, JJ?
I'm looking at the questions.
Okay.
Frankie Rose said, do you think he will do part 2? He seemed to take the exit the second Marco mentioned. Marco's not giving him an option.
No.
So there's no part 2.
There's not going to be a part 2.
As of now, yeah. But yeah, I also agree. He really did take that out once Marco had to pee.
Well, I think he felt like he had control over it. Marco was uncomfortable because he had to go to the bathroom, you know. Yeah. And I feel like he took it as an opportunity to control, because right after that was when he exploded. And
And he's also going to use the narrative, oh, well, Marco left. Like, Marco quit it because he had to go to the bathroom so bad. So he just ended it. He uses the bathroom as an excuse to end it. Like, no, that was your decision.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm tired from my workout today. I did legs. It's probably my toughest workout that I have for the week. And so that's why I'm tired. I got a lot of rest this weekend. I had really great sleep. Yeah. Marco, get on here, fool.
Took the biggest L.
I can't with him. Oh, Julie, we love you.
Oh my God, is
you have a beanie? If you do, put it on.
Is Lystad in here? Did you say Julie?
Yeah.
Julie Lystad?
Yeah.
Oh my God, hi. I love you so much. God, I wish I could hug you right now.
Yeah, he's in Juice Plus.
I'm looking through to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Let's see.
Yeah, a lot of comments about I'm glad there won't be a part 2. Agreed. Marco.
Hi, Megan. Hello, I'm Quiz.
Hi, Megs.
People are surprised about the company that person is in. It was a shock to us as well.
Yeah, especially with the ad hominem fallacies he's used.
Oh, wait. Unfortunately, Marco can't sweat his pee out.
Dang, that's
Marco, I sent the link on Instagram, my dude.
That sucks, my guy.
Marco, I'm sorry you couldn't sweat the pee out.
I don't know. I just feel like the use of fallacies, the use of specifically ad hominem, the use of the amount that he used deflection instead of asking a direct question. I do wish that there would have been like a moderator. Marco says, send the link.
I already did.
Thanks, Marco.
Thank you for the $2, though.
I do wish that there was a moderator.
He has a mindset. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but
no, you're funny. That's
Karina,
funny. Hey, Karina. I do wish that there was a moderator that would have been able to kind of control, hey, let's not interrupt one another. Let's give each other an opportunity to speak, because I think it's funny because the other individual got upset when Marco interrupted him towards the end and told him to shut the F up after he asked questions. But like that same thing was not given to Marco.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah.
This is such a good, listen, this is just the truth. That man danced around every single question and tried to change his topic consistently. I don't think there was one question that this person straight up answered. Maybe I could be mistaken, but most of the questions he didn't answer. And also when Marco would say, well, you said this, the other person would say, no, I never said that. Take it back. It's like
5 minutes earlier.
Actually
said that.
Actually, you just said it. I don't really know what to do with that.
Oh no, man. Yeah. P is a mindset. That's freaking funny.
Yeah, also Melissa's right. I don't think that guy would have respected a moderator.
Well, true.
Yeah. I bet he wouldn't have done it if there was a moderator.
You think so?
110%.
Marco.
Oh, the guy who takes L's.
What up?
Guy.
Am I on?
You're on.
Yeah.
What's up?
I just want to give a disclaimer. I've never been in an MLM, and I want you guys to know that if this, in your mind, hurts my credibility, I understand.
I can't believe you didn't let everybody know that on every single video at the beginning of all of your videos.
What's interesting about that? He doesn't put the Juice Plus income disclosure in any of his content that I have seen.
I have a feeling about that.
I mean, you're a hater. I don't know what else to tell you. You just hate
it's our broke mindset, Aaron. We're just,
broke mindset.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was beanie season too. Hold on, let me get my.
Oh,
come on, man.
Yeah.
Let me get,
Batman.
There we go. Get the beanie on right quick. There we go.
How are you feeling, Marco, after the after the debate?
Oh my
Like,
gosh,
what are
I'm
your
excited
thoughts?
to talk about this.
I feel great.
Heck yeah.
I feel great.
What were your thoughts during it? What was tell me.
You know, you get lost in his eyes. That's the thing that I find.
Oh,
And
You're not wrong.
you get lost in his eyes.
They're so nice.
It's sort of like if you've ever talked to like a person in an old folks home who maybe was in war and they have like that 1,000-yard stare. It's sort of like that.
I can't
but-
with you.
You know what I mean? And I mean, mostly that. But those were my thoughts during it.
I know exactly what you mean.
Right?
Can't
And
relate.
I want to say too, I appreciate all your guys' support. You two in the chat. I saw the super chats. There was a couple of times you could see there that I was almost laughing because I kept seeing comments pop up. I was like, okay, I gotta stay focused.
My favorite, I don't know if people caught this, but one of my favorite moments where you were like, it felt like, not to say that you were acting, but you know, when like a Saturday Night Live character breaks character.
Yeah.
The funniest thing. And so I feel like there was a moment like that, and I saw you mute your mic, and then you went like, see that you've said something, and I was like, oh, I can't even imagine. I don't know if you even remember that, but yeah.
Oh, I remember. Today was the first time that I went back and watched the replay because I wanted to see. I wasn't able to read the comments like during the live because there was so many, and I was trying to stay focused on my guest.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I was laughing at the comments today, and I also really appreciate some of the people in your guys' chat right now were watching that live when it happened, and I appreciate the support.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't have to pee. I wish I would have not drank so much water or tried to go pee beforehand because, I mean, my mindset should have allowed me to circumvent my bladder, but
just to sweat it out.
Yeah, just sweat out the pee. I mean, I'm waiting for him to play a sound. I'm all.
No, I'm not. But
yeah.
I mean, my thoughts on it. my thoughts on it were oh, y'all need to see the Jesse Lee office. Somebody said, I got you. Jesse Lee is in the office. I gotta add more pictures of Jesse Lee. This gallery was formerly made up of just my earliest childhood crushes.
Oh my god.
But I had to add Jesse in light of recent
Fair.
love.
I mean, go for it, my guy.
Thank you.
Someone's got to like her.
Yeah. So, but my thoughts were so what I wanted for the debate was one of two things. I think it went perfectly because if option A had happened, which is that some miraculous unicorn of a situation where he realized, oh, you know what? You're making a lot of sense. I'm going to leave this company. It probably wouldn't have happened in that moment, but it has happened with people in MLMs before that I've featured. Specifically, people might remember Fidel from the 2 videos about a certain company who I can't name that I put out in 2021. And he really came over to the light side when it was not looking like he would. And that was really inspirational to me in what I do. Option B, because I didn't think option A was going to happen. When he started out by saying, I don't think we're going to find common ground. And then at the end, when he said, you're never going to say anything that I'm going to agree with, I was like, all right. So I sort of knew that. And we also had a conversation, I think a day or two before the stream, where I said to him, you know, I actually want to go, I want to be wrong. Because I used to be the type of person who, when I would disagree with somebody, I wanted to be right because it feels good to be right. Mm-hmm. But then if you talk to somebody and share information and you go away the same and they go away having their mind changed, that's great. But actually they won more from that interaction because they have now taken in new information, which has made them smarter and they've changed their mind. I want that to happen to me. I want to become smarter. I want to learn new things I didn't know before and be wrong. And I told him this in our private conversation. He said, that's very mature of you. You know, some of us don't learn that until we're in our 30s and 40s and whatnot. And I said, I hope that you would approach this with the same whatever. And he had expressed to me kind of subtly that because so much of his identity is tied to this thing, a lot of his relationships, etc. I told him, basically he expressed the fear to me, like, what would people think if I did leave? And that was sort of holding him. And I said, but man, you're still, there's still more time ahead of us than behind us, like he's not exactly, he's a lot older than I am, but he's not exactly 100 years old, like,
I mean, he's only 5 years older than me.
right. So he's still relatively young, young
Yeah.
enough to definitely do something legitimate. So I tried to console him about that fear. I said, it's the most you thing to do, to say, I don't care what those people say. This is what I think. And I think that definitely did mean something. I could sort of see the gears turning in his eyes when I said that. But again, when it came to being on the public stream, I think,
the bull of MLM came out.
Yeah. It's like, it is a sunk cost fallacy. You dedicate so much of your life to something that the idea of walking away is so huge that it's just crushing. It's easier to double down and triple down, as we saw him do, than it is to admit. So long story short, option A didn't happen. Option B was to have exactly what happened happen, in which case I'm happy about that, because I think I talked about this with both of you in the individual conversations we had on the videos on my channel, which the one with Julie just came out today. So check that out.
It's so good.
Yeah. We, I think I asked both of you separately about what? I don't know. I forgot.
Well, can I just say that I really, and I know that you like this example that JJ gave of the Play-Doh, and in case you guys haven't already, fish sticks, the way that video ended was my favorite. I laughed so hard from when I was doing cardio today. It was great. But I think that the analogy that JJ gave of the Play-Doh, and you have red and you have blue Play-Doh, and you are in her, I don't want to speak for her, but like, I don't know if you want to give that example again in case people haven't watched that, JJ.
Yeah, I mean, just like, we've mostly, all of us probably played with Play-Doh, and when you get red and blue, you kind of mix the Play-Doh. It's hard to take apart and pull apart like two different colors together. And then I liked what Marco said when he was like, well, what if it just becomes purple? You can't separate the two. And yeah, I mean, I think it's very simple, but it's just the best way I could describe how I felt with Christianity and MLM and kind of how they intertwined.
I remember what I was going to say.
Yeah.
In the individual videos I did with each of you, I think I mentioned how one of the most difficult things about this multi-level marketing thing is that it's impossible to quantify somebody's emotional damage or their, how much were you manipulated. That is not a thing you can just like, if you were in court prosecuting an MLM, that's a factor that would never get any attention. That's sort of the whole point of the multi-level misery series, is to show the like acute effects on an individual that aren't necessarily related to money and time. Because in any lawsuit regarding an MLM, historically, they talk about, okay, these people, like think of the Herbalife example that was featured in the Betting on Zero documentary. Talks about these people put up this much money to join and they lost X amount, so we'll pay them a settlement of this much. But what about the friends they lost? What about the time? What about their reputation? It's impossible to quantify. And what the debate is for me is a resource for people to come back to in the future and see what it is like to endure the ramblings and the confusing riddles and double speak and false equivalencies of a person in that company, to me, that's what the debate is. The debate actually wasn't about changing anyone's mind for me or winning or losing. It was something that could be used as a tool for people to come back to and see, oh, this is fucking exhausting. And I even think I saw some comments in the live chat. I saw one that I think said, this reminds me of arguing with my ex-boyfriend who was just a complete lunatic. And I think there is value in that. And when I also had another comment too, and I want to address this. Somebody said, how come you didn't check him more on his misogyny? How come you didn't stop him or question him on that? We all watched the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, right? And we saw how good of a job Johnny Depp's lawyers did. One thing I learned from that is when somebody is absolutely burying themselves alive, don't interrupt them.
Yeah.
Let them show who they are. I think that is more valuable than anything. And I think there were some people who reported his the things he said to his company.
Yep.
So that's obviously pretty cool. But I mean, I did apologize after the fact for platforming his sentiments. Although I looked at his channel, he doesn't have any more subscribers than he did before it. So I'm not too worried about the platforming aspect. And in the grand scheme of what the video represents, I think it is a worthy sacrifice that I let him say what he wanted to say. If it means, innumerable people are going to watch that and see how messed up it is and factor that into their decision making when or if and when they get propositioned to join an MLM.
Yeah. I think that there's, and the way that I address this is, I think that there are living, breathing examples of people's experiences when they were in MLM. For example, you start to back away, you get exiled, you leave the company, you get unfriended, you start to speak out, and all of a sudden you have all these people that just try to come in and silence you in whatever, fallacies they feel like throwing out. And I think that this was a living, breathing example. Another example of something along these lines, or along these lines here, were, for those of you that have followed me on Instagram, you guys saw when I did an aerial video, and I know JJ was there too. JJ was in the comments of it was the thumbnail from like last February. And we saw all of these aerial people just come into the comments and just lose their minds, in my opinion. And it showed this same kind of living, breathing example. I didn't delete anything. Unless they've deleted their comments, I left it there for that very same reason, so that people can see exactly what I'm talking about. And I do refer to that periodically, because I think that it's important, just like Marco said, for people to see what they're dealing with or who they're dealing with. And so I think that that's an important thing. And I do appreciate you addressing the misogyny and like why you didn't shut it down at that time. I appreciate that, Marco, because I know that that was something that a lot of the female viewers, I'm going to say female, it's a military thing. Some of the women that were watching were kind of like, well, why didn't he shut it down? Why didn't he shut it down? And so I appreciate you addressing that.
Yeah, thank you. Go ahead, Julie. You were going to say something.
I'm very happy you didn't shut it down. I'm very happy that you let him rattle off. I've been dealing with this person for quite a few months. To the point of harassment for sure. But I'm just happy, honestly, that video lives out in the world, because people can see who this person is, what they're like. And honestly, I think it's a good example of what multi-level marketing can do to you, and other things like it, right? Other things that are group related in the sense of like a cult. So yeah, it was excellent. I think it was great.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, sort of touching on what I said before about what the debate represents to me, I think I did a really good job when it comes to trying to stay on topic, despite his attempts to create a pothole down every road we went. Why aren't you successful? Well, what is success? You tell me. I think I navigated the minefield of confusion and illogic pretty well. Almost, I went back and I don't think I actually lost my way or stuttered my words once. There was times when I was stuttering because we were talking over each other and I was restarting my sentence. But in terms of me actually being stumped or going like, oh, that's a good point, there was not that even one time, in my opinion, because I've been down this road several times before with people, because I do talk to people on the other end of the MLM spectrum who are deeply in it. And so I hope people would watch the debate and go, even if I have an answer for everything, even if I know why what this person is saying to me is wrong, this is what you can expect. This is why, do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter how much I know, they're always going to find a way to deflect or change the topic or answer a question with a question or just attack the person and invalidate the person's experience, which watching it back, he mentioned many times, this was the majority of his quarrel with me, I think, was that I don't provide a disclaimer that I was in an MLM. So how can I talk about it when we know that if I was in an MLM and I had that experience, he would just say that I was just an embittered, emotional person anyways. So that was a trap, obviously. But I found it interesting. He kept citing his experience as a police officer, the Black community this, women that. He's neither of those. So how can you cite your information? And I hope people just see this. I'm not frustrated at all. People said, oh, Marco, you have such patience. I don't know how you dealt with that. I wasn't actually dealing with it. I was thinking more long-term, if you will, about setting an example for being equipped with all the knowledge, being able to combat every point and false equivalence and call it out, and proving that it will never be enough.
I have a question, Marco. Do you think there's actually anything you could have done?
Like done differently, or
like, because people, he's like, I didn't do anything, like he let him do it. I personally don't think there's anything you could have said or done to make him answer the questions that you asked. Like, I don't think there's much you could have done to, have him answer anything, really. But
I agree. Go ahead.
You saying that you didn't do anything in the sense, like, I don't think there's much to be before. Well, yeah, that could have happened.
I could have.
That's awesome.
I should have.
But I mean, in his situation, I think anything like you getting stern with him or like, there's you shutting him down, that would make it so much worse. There's just not a whole lot you could have done. I think what you did was the best option.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I agree. I mean, I think I was pretty straightforward and asking simple questions and clarifying terms and pausing and making sure we were on the same page and listening. Simple things. Why aren't you successful? Well, what is success? Is lying bad? And then he answers with a question. Very simple questions. Mind you, imagine having such difficulty explaining or defending any other type of business model. And then imagine going to bat for any other company the way these people go to bat for their companies. Even if I had a killer paying job at Apple, for example, and somebody was talking bad about Apple, do you think you would see me in Instagram comments and on YouTube debates and in YouTube comments? It is so indicative of the cult brainwashing element of the whole thing that you have an industry where 99% of people annually lose money, and yet they fight for it as though it is, providing them riches. It's insane. It's insanity.
Yeah. I also think that that's a perfect example of the Play-Doh example, the red and the blue Play-Doh. And the more you knead that Play-Doh, the more it becomes purple. And I think there's things that keep people in longer. We can keep this really simple and say, well, the indoctrination at the events, or the constant smoke screen of activity, do this, do that, go live, do this, go, get on the Zoom, and all of those things kind of keep people indoctrinated into all of that. And I think, hey, Julie, I think that when it could be the sunk cost fallacy. I'm already in this so much. I've already spent so much money. I might as well see it through, or time, or rank, or being a part of somebody's inner circle. And the more you have these kind of factors, and the reason I'm saying this is because if he's been in the industry for 10 years, I can relate to him in a certain aspect. I was in MLMs for 13 and a half years. I know what it took for me to sort the red and the blue Play-Doh. I know that there were parts that are, that were purple, and I just had to like work my way through that and remove the purple, reworking. And it's things like setting boundaries. It's things like, I don't have to show everything on social media, and removing those purple parts and replacing them with, red or blue Play-Doh or whatever color I feel like. So I can relate to the conversation you said you had with him privately. I can relate to him, and his, what appears to be big feelings with being in MLM for 10 years. I can relate to all of that. I understand. I'm compassionate when it comes to that. Will I have a conversation with that person? No. And the reason that I will not have a conversation with that person is because of the use of ad hominem fallacies. I can relate to him on a human level. I can relate to him when it comes to being in the industry for as long as he has. But for me, the line draws with the ad hominem stuff. The misogyny, all of that stuff. But I do hope that he gets out. And I agree with you, Marco. I think that he can do some really incredible things, but people get so lost in their image and what they look like and how they show up on social media that I think that just kind of adds and pushes people in deeper, in my opinion, to these MLM companies.
Yes. It's interesting what you said. I actually don't think using ad hominems or insults rather against another person is a fallacy. I think it just makes you a dick. Oh, and that was one of the reasons fair. I didn't do that, because a lot of people have rightfully pointed out how he was kind of unprofessional to do things like tell me to shut the F up, or refusing to let me go to the washroom, or there was something else. Oh, well, just the names that he called the women of the anti-MLM community. I think it was important for me to not do that so that people, it's sort of useless anyways, because regardless of how well poised I am and how correct I am in the things I say and how solid my logic is, they're always going to find something to say, which we saw. But I didn't want to give them another piece of ammunition to use against me. Oh, well, Marco also said mean things to him. That's why I didn't, I kept it respectful. And I like what you said too about the line is drawn for you at doing these sort of like one-on-one debates. I also would hope that, before I did the debate, so many people had reached out to me telling me like, here's how he terrorized me. Here's how he terrorized me. Julie obviously probably has received the brunt of this nonsense, personal attacks. And so I would hope that by giving him what he wanted, and in my opinion, doing a near perfect job of combating everything he said, it would sort of stop him in the future from asking for this from people, or sort of, you know what I mean? Like, you already know what you're going to get. Also, for people who are propositioned by him to do a debate, it's like, we already saw how that went, buddy. I saw how your debate with Marco went, and I don't know if we're going to get anywhere productive. So I sort of hope that it would get him off the back of these women that he constantly goes at, which is so whack.
It's so weird.
So whack.
Yeah. JJ, I feel like you have things that you want to say.
I have a lot I want to say. It's going to sound weird, but I actually see some of myself in Dom. Childhood trauma and not learning how to handle your emotions helps you become the adult that you are today. And for me, it took a lot of therapy to kind of get out of the space of being so defensive and so, I don't know, Dom-like. And I think that it's much deeper than any of us can. I hate that I have empathy for him, but I do have some empathy.
Yeah.
And, I think it's much deeper than MLM. And I think the thing that I want to push a lot of times is it is always much deeper than MLM. People are going through things, and I've just seen a lot lately with like the Jessie Lee Ward situation and her downline of like, they're just like dense. They're just not smart. They're unintelligent. And it's like, no, I disagree. Maybe some of them, but I don't think they're all like that. And I think it's the same way with Dom. I think Dom's smart. I think Dom has the ability to do a lot of great things for his life. I think there are some things in the way of that we don't and will never understand. And I think it's some work he's going to have to do outside of high control groups that he's a part of. Yeah, I don't know. I've just been thinking about it. I have some empathy for him. I'm not happy about it. But yeah.
I think that's really kind of you, JJ.
I wouldn't.
I know what you really want to say.
But I'm going to keep them right up here in my head.
Just text me. It's fine.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was a baby once, right?
Yeah.
And with this person, there's a history of high control groups, or rather groups where there is such uniformity, it dissuades someone from thinking critically or as an individual. Police work, follow the leader, do as you're told, fall in formation, make sure you are in uniform. I mean, Erin knows about this because of her military experience.
Absolutely do.
He has strong religious beliefs. Religion is based on faith. Faith can be interpreted or described as believing without evidence. Faith, you have faith in something. You believe in something because you don't know something. I don't believe 2 + 2 is 4. I know 2 + 2 is 4. I only believe things that I am not sure of. So I know some people might disagree with that definition. The point I'm trying to make is there's a pattern of this faith-based thinking that's been present in this person's life long before the 10 years plus in multi-level marketing. And that has to be factored in. And oftentimes it is. He said to me, ironically, in the debate, he said that there's an acorn that grows from that tree. He was trying to imply that I'm a deceptive person or because I cheated on my math test in grade 11, and my cheating on my math test in grade 11 is in some way equivalent to defrauding a close friend with this business opportunity that is likely going to hurt them. And the same thing can be said for him. There is a seed that has planted this susceptibility to group thinking, and that might have started when he was a baby. Your parents give you your religion. You know, if we took some remote tribe in a part of the world that doesn't have access to the internet and we ask them about their religion, do you think that they're going to have a detailed description of Christianity and Jesus being born in the manger or any religion? No, it's taught to you. It is not something that you just divinely realize the whole lore, you know? And so in that way, I empathize. I have empathy for him too.
Yeah. I think this is an important conversation.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions? I mean, I'm actually going to go use the facilities, so I will be right back.
Can't.
You're not allowed.
You can't.
No washroom for you.
Nothing.
We'll have to do this on part 2, I guess.
It's 6 p.m. my time. I got to go to bed.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are my thoughts. I had a what else did I have? I thought it was really interesting too how after the fact he clipped the final bit where he was being the most nasty and posted it as a video. And that's really funny to me because for him, his most shining moment that he clipped immediately after the stream was over was, in my opinion and many others' opinion, the moment that made him look the worst. So it sort of goes to show you what kind of person we're dealing with here, when the, in my opinion, moment when he was being the ugliest and the least believable and the least reasonable was the moment when he thought he got me.
I have like almost no words to say about it. I thought I'd have more. It's just, honestly, I didn't even know he did that. I didn't know that
he posted it as on his Instagram, which the worst part of this whole thing is he unfollowed me on Instagram. I'm very sad about that. I know. I'll be okay. And he posted the clip as like a video on his channel as well. And it was like, I don't know if you saw in my story, but he posted a thing. It was a screenshot of my face, like me rolling my eyes or me sort of having a defeated look on my face while he's in the middle of his rant. And he posted a screenshot of that and said, when asking me to apologize doesn't go the way you think. And I reposted it and made the correction. I said, actually, it's my face when you call women hags and pigs and whatever else. So
yeah.
From Hun to Hag, the Dominic Izzo story. It's a new book I'm working on, From Hun to Hag.
That's going to be incredible.
Yeah.
It'll be a great book.
Forward by Aaron Bees and Julie Joe. From Hun to Hag. I'm thinking of making a shirt, a shirt that says, because he said how I'm so manipulative and I'm stealing views from the other anti-MLM creators and how I'm manipulating women who have been hurt by MLMs by making my videos. I'm going to make a shirt that says, I got manipulated by Marco and all I got was this lousy t-shirt.
I love it. I couldn't believe that he was trying to make, I couldn't believe that he was trying to make that argument.
Karina in the chat asked, Marco, will you try and interview your bae, Jesse Lee? It's funny. After the first interview, or during the first private conversation, I shouldn't say interview, that me and Dom had prior to the debate, he was like, I think we could be great allies. I support what you do. You don't think that I would want, I see the way that you talk and you are very eloquent. I would love to put you in touch with Jesse Lee and Ray Higdon and get you to do interviews with them. And I was like,
put you in touch.
Was that?
I just said, put you in touch.
I can't believe he said that.
Things do come true. I don't know if it's going to happen now, but I will say I'm very happy because the love of my life, Jesse Lee Ward, knows who I am right because she commented on his post. And she actually, the way I interpret this is that she called me baby. Now, hold on now.
Oh, I know exactly.
Hold on now.
I know exactly the comment.
Hold on now. Nobody burst my bubble here, okay?
Thanks, Mother Dragon 82.
We'll
we
give
appreciate
it to you. We'll let you have that.
Thank you. She said something like, oh, so they bully us online and then get to claim that we're abusive. Not how this works, baby, or something like that. And that really...
Okay, I have questions.
Lit me up.
I'm glad that lit you up. I love that for you, Marco. I really do.
Thank you.
I love that for you. And I love how it brings you joy, like the smile on your face. I love that for you. Mm-hmm. I want to talk about her saying that we are bullying her.
You are.
My question is, how can we be bullying her when we're literally, I'm going to use an MLM term, literally reacting to her own words from her own videos that she posted publicly? If you're mad because this is all being brought to light, just say that, Jesse Lee. Just say that. It's fine.
Well, Erin, she would. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
What are you doing?
I was going to say, well, she would probably respond to that by saying, if you're a hater, just say that.
Oh, she probably would.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a hater. And what?
I love everyone. Maybe that's my biggest strength, but also maybe the thing that frustrates people about me the most is I like everybody. I like everybody. I think everybody's my friend. And I really, yeah, Karina, you got me. I'm going to blush. I like everybody, even though there's differences. you know, I like everyone. I remember last year when I was doing, I spent a lot of time in 2022 trying out stand-up comedy. Not trying it out because I had done it before the pandemic, obviously, and I couldn't do it for like almost 2 years because of the shutdowns and whatnot. But I spent a lot of time doing that in 2022. And one of my friends in the comedy scene was like, "You confuse me." And I was like, "Why do I confuse you?" He's like, I can't tell if you actually like everybody or if this is like some like persona that you do. I was like, what do you mean? What's there not to like? Everybody has something to offer. Everybody's cool and fun in their own way. He's like, but haven't you noticed that this person doesn't talk to this person and that person's never in the room with this person? And I was like, he's explaining to me all this little like beefs, all these beefs that go on. I was like, I didn't know about any of that. I like everybody, bro. I don't know. I like Jesse. I like Dom. I like everybody.
Good for you.
I love that for you, Marco.
Yeah.
I love that for
We
you.
need someone like that in our lives.
We all need somebody like that. Oh God, yeah.
So how is it bullying? I don't know if it is bullying. It's just bullying is an easy way to, shrug it off, I suppose.
To try and quiet it.
Yeah.
I think a big part of it is just to help people in her circle to look at us with less credibility.
And to stay in her circle. And to stay in her circle.
Less integrity.
Yeah. Take a shot every time he said integrity.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't have been able to watch it all. I would have been like, ow.
The integrity conversation.
What'd you say, Aaron?
The integrity conversation, that part blows my mind because
It's wild.
The very definition of integrity, because this is something the military talks about all the time, doing the right thing when nobody's looking. But how can you say that you have integrity if you are part of an industry where 99.7% of people lose money or don't make any at all, let alone I was throwing facts in the juice about Juice Plus in the comments of that debate video, because how can you stand there and say, oh, well, I have massive integrity when he was trying to get Marco to put this disclaimer that he's never been in an MLM, but he doesn't disclose even the company that he's a part of. And he definitely does not put any of the income disclosure statement or anything like that with Juice Plus in any of his content. So that's not somebody, in my opinion, that is showing integrity.
Yeah.
I have a question for both of you.
Okay.
During the stream, during the debate, there was one point when I was explaining why, even without the deceptive tactics that he himself claims to not be a fan of in the industry, I believe the industry is doomed to fail because it relies on such an antiquated business model. And I made the comparison between direct selling and Blockbuster. Blockbuster is no more because people chose the convenience of Netflix. And that's what came along with the technology, was the ability to stream a movie from, without having to leave the house. So obviously Netflix won. Direct selling, this idea that you're one person selling to another, is like 1 to 2% of annual retail that's done in North America every year. It's such a small percent that it's negligible. So when I brought this up to him and I said, why would anyone choose to buy directly from another person when we have Amazon? I also brought up Walmart and Target because those are big retailers as well, which even Walmarts and Targets face the threat of becoming obsolete because of how successful and efficient something like Amazon is. And he said, he sort of ignored that and just said, wait, do you really think that I'm out there like selling out of my trunk and this and that? And I said, and so he mentioned that he does have an online store. So maybe one of you can explain this to me, because he is right. A lot of companies don't do inventory loading anymore. They put their customers on auto ship. Like some of these companies have learned from LuLaRoe to not stockpile and front load the products anymore. So how does this change? Like basically in a company like his, when he's paying, we know it traditionally that you as the distributor pay for a bunch of products. If you sell it, you sell it. If you don't, it sits in the garage. But if it is only being purchased online by your customers and they're putting in like a referral code or using your link to get the commission and it's like affiliate, right? How does the inventory loading aspect of that factor in when it's an online purchase? Like, do you have to buy virtual stock or how does it work?
JJ, you want this, or you want to start?
Sure.
You don't have to. I was just asking.
Oh, I'm fine. So for me, a lot of it was you have to be a product of the products. And they never said you need to hold stock, but the encouragement to purchase products and the fact that they always had sales, they always would bring in some random new product that meant nothing or put it in a new flavor of Fizz Sticks and encourage like 10 boxes because they're going to sell out quick. We, as the distributors, are the company's biggest customers, and they're not selling to anyone else but us. The company itself doesn't sell to other people. They sell to us, and they want us to use the products, show people how they work, and then have those people buy the products from us through our website. And for me, one time specifically, I remember there's huge Christmas bundles, right? That are like $700-800. And so I was on a call with the top leader in the company. And she said, you need to buy 3 bundles. If you're on this call, you need to buy 3 bundles. Here's why. She said, you need to have one for yourself to show how you use the products, one for people to try out to see if they would like it, and a third one to sell on your own in person if you see someone. And just because that top leader told us to buy 3 bundles, most of us did.
That's that undue influence.
Yeah. I don't know if that was helpful, but that's just kind of what I experienced is they wanted us to act like we love the product so much, buy as much product as we could to show off, to give some kind of FOMO, I think is also part of it.
I absolutely disagree with not what you said, Marco, what he said.
I was like, bitch, are you disagreeing with me?
No, definitely not. I absolutely know front loading still happens.
Yeah. Oh, especially Improve It.
In so many companies. I mean, so many companies. Like, think about it. In anybody that sells essential oils through an MLM company, whether it's Young Living, doTERRA, you see the just shelves of oils. That all costs money. Prove It, same way. You see them packing up ketones on their lives, whether they're real orders or not. You see the boxes and boxes of ketones. Paparazzi, same way. Unique, same way. You know, they have these sales. Monet is the same way. Mona, that's what I call them. Same way, you know, and I know that there were several comments saying, hey, you know, it's the flash sales. These companies have these sales and they're encouraged to order these things. It may not be the company themselves, you know, encouraging this, but it's absolutely happening within the teams, in my opinion, and also based on my experience. In Prove It, you are taught when you launch, or at least you were, maybe they've changed it, I don't know, to create a ghost account. And I know Marco and I have talked about it. I know JJ and I have talked about this, but you have a ghost account that is a fake customer account that is being funded by the distributor. According to the FTC, that looks like a customer account, but it's funded by the distributor who's already in the hole based on statistics, data, and especially the income disclosure statement from Prove It. And so when there's a new flavor that drops, you are encouraged by your team, by the leader, by, you know, your upline to buy 2 boxes. And if you guys were in Prove It, I can already feel y'all in the comments. You guys know what I'm talking about. You're encouraged to order 2 boxes under that customer account so that you get paid off of it. And then you have some that, you know, you consume and then you sell the rest in trials. but there's not a lot of people that are selling trials. And in fact, some of the training that's taught is to go live, act like you're packing trials, and they're fake orders. And so then they go back and they put everything away after the fact. And yeah, so front loading does happen. I also want to say that I think that there's a real reason why many of these, sorry if you hear children, mom life. But I think there's a real reason that we're starting to see a lot of these MLM companies selling directly from the corporate office on Amazon. Pick the company, look on Amazon. Look at who is offering it. Prove It, I Know does it. No, Gavin, do you need something? Okay. I'll talk to you in a minute, okay? But Prove It is selling through Prove It corporate office. And the crazy part about it is that some of these distributors in Prove It are defending what they're doing on Amazon, what their corporate office is doing on Amazon. They're like, oh, it's more expensive. No, they've just incorporated shipping and tax into the price, and they're selling it on Amazon. They're undercutting the distributor, and these people are defending it. So I know I got long-winded with that. Front loading absolutely does happen.
Yeah.
There are companies that they are meeting people either at their house or in a parking lot, or that does happen. And just because said individual is like, you really think I'm, delivering stuff out of the back of my car, just because that may not be his situation, doesn't mean that's a direct reflection of everything going on in the industry of multi-level marketing.
There are a couple things I want to add to that. One, whatever you're purchasing is also going towards your numbers.
Yes.
So like if you need to finish a level or a rank, you could purchase $700 worth, have 700 points, and it'll rank you up. I did that at one point. Also, in Arbonne, there was this weird culture of the more you buy, the more loyal you look.
Yep.
And
the product.
Yeah. So that was also a huge deal. Like a new fish stick came out. Whoever bought the most boxes is going to get posted on their Instagram. Type of thing.
Fish sticks?
Yep. Fish sticks.
Fish stick.
Yeah. Okay. So I think I understand.
I want in
now.
on a founding member as well if we start that. Okay.
Well, you could be the first recruit. You'll be top of the pyramid.
Okay. I'll go under JJ.
That works. So I think I understand now. So let me, I guess, reason this out loud. So if you were in an MLM that did use an online marketplace where you didn't have to inventory load, let's just say that you didn't buy into the corporate culture or the company culture of you have to buy, like Julie said, buy 3 of each so that you have one for you, one to sell, one for samples. Let's say you didn't subscribe to that. You only held, like what the gentleman I debated the other night claimed. He only physically has in his house what he himself consumes. The rest of it, people purchase it online. I think I remember now. I said to him during the debate, I said, even if that's true, which that'd be very difficult to get people to buy something. Imagine if your job, okay, was literally just to get people out in the world to buy something using your link. That is not a viable means of making a living. If you have a huge platform, maybe, but affiliate programs are typically set up for people who actually do have enough of a following that the affiliate program would yield a sizable return. And he is not one of those people. So that right there, I'm interested in looking at this from a regulator standpoint, right? If I was trying to explain this to the FTC, I'm sure that one of the defenses that an MLM person would have is they would say, well, no, people buy it from the link. We don't have to hold on to anything. I would then combat that by saying like, okay, well, how feasible is it that people are actually doing that? Also, if your own volume, if your own purchases count towards your volume and thus your amount that you're paid, you can see how it would be tempting to create a ghost account so that you could, fudge the numbers and fake the sales. So I would come back and I would say, prove who this person, John Smith, that you sold the product to is. Prove that it's not just a dummy account, So I guess his excuse or his reasoning that he doesn't hold on to any of the stock himself is sort of it's a very flimsy defense, because I would just be taking him at his word. There's no way of him proving that his customers that he supposedly pays all his bills off of are real people. And furthermore, even if that was the case, it still doesn't provide a good explanation for how is direct selling a feasible business model in 2023 when any product that these companies sell is not, they're not reinventing the wheel. I can get protein powder from Amazon for cheaper, for an equivalent or better quality.
Yeah.
Same thing with Juice Plus powder, the fruit and vegetable powder. Like they sell that, like those are a dime a dozen, you know? So
JJ's face right now, I can't.
Just every time I hear that he's in Juice Plus, it cracks me up.
that's the least manly thing you could do.
I
Like,
literally-
why, like, juice. You sell juice. How are you talking about the integrity and your police history? And like his whole brand is the bull, right? And at the beginning of his videos, he plays like the Darth Vader music, and it's like he's this big scary kingpin villain.
God,
And
I
he
love
dresses in
that
a
Darth
pink
Vader.
suit. And it's like, you're in Juice Plus?
Can I have some fruit capsules, please?
Yeah, like, yeah, let me get a little fruit tablet, Mr. Bull.
God.
Oh God.
It's
just
also
makes
sort
me
of a
will
double
never
entendre.
forget.
Sorry, go ahead.
My bad. I'll just never forget the day we found out he was in Juice Plus.
Yeah, and I've seen another video too where he's like, somebody accused me of being on steroids. I am on steroids. My doctor facilitates it and I make sure that it's safe. And I'm like, so Juice Plus sort of has a little double entendre there. It's like, you're
I was
juicing.
right, Aaron.
Wait, say that
I was
again?
right, Aaron.
Hold on. Marco, say that again?
Which part?
The steroids. I was right, Aaron.
No, I'll have to find the video, but yeah, it might have been on his Wing Chun karate channel or Kung Fu channel, sorry. Or his Instagram. I don't remember exactly, or maybe even his TikTok. But he said, yeah, I do. I mean, it's obvious. If typically with men as they age, you don't put on more muscle mass and have higher testosterone as you age. And there are other indicators of it too. Like typically it causes the gut to become bloated, which is why if you look at bodybuilders or like natural bodybuilders, they have defined abs compared to like enhanced bodybuilders. They often have this sort of like almost like a hockey goalie would wear the, straight, padding underneath. It sort of looks like that. It doesn't really look real. So yeah, he has said that he does, steroids that are facilitated by a doctor, which, you know what? I mean, if you're a man in your 40s and your testosterone level isn't as naturally high as it was, I wouldn't fault somebody for going a lot on like TRT, like testosterone replacement therapy,
Right.
and having some help with your body intaking something that it already naturally generates. But like anabolic steroids, I would not. I don't think it's a good idea for anybody.
The irony of that with Juice Plus, there's just something special there.
Yeah.
And his choice of ad hominem fallacies. Like, let's add that into this.
What did he say?
Well, he's called JJ Pig. He called both of us pigs and hags. And it's kind of like, you're calling us pigs, but I'm at the gym 5 days a week, bro.
And also, I've never heard, pig is usually a derogatory term directed at police.
Also,
so the fact that he was a police officer, but yet he calls everyone else pigs is so
fascinating.
It's fascinating. He is fascinating.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, I want to address Savannah's comment. Can we talk about him saying how he doesn't want to make money from his YouTube when he only has 400 subscribers? When I said on my in my private conversation with him, I said, I want to make money on YouTube. He's like, of course, that you would be stupid if you weren't trying to make money on your YouTube. I was like, yeah. So how can you, that seems like an easy excuse for somebody who doesn't even meet the requirements to become monetized, and it's like, So then if he was monetized, would he be subject to the same criticism that he gave me, that I'm manipulating people or that I'm running a pyramid scheme because I have a monetized YouTube channel or maybe a Patreon? His other channel is monetized, and he talked about how he used to make a lot of money off of it. Was he manipulating people? It's a Kung Fu channel. Is he Chinese? Was he one of the inventors of Kung Fu? So,
Valid points.
Very interesting fellow. And also, I think I even said to him in the debate, I said, you can't force people to subscribe to you. If people see value in your content, they'll subscribe. And I suggested to him that maybe him not having subscribers was a reflection of the content not having value.
Yeah.
Just a thought.
Yeah. Oh God.
I have a lot of thoughts that I'm trying to filter. That's why I'm not saying very much.
I can see it in your face, and I know that you and I are gonna have some text messages after this.
I like that Marco's on here.
I am too. I'm glad that we're having this conversation. I really am.
Yeah.
I love him and I love Jesse.
I love that for you.
That's amazing for you.
We're gonna defeat. We will defeat the enemy with love. Mark my words.
Marco will defeat the enemy with love. I love that.
We can all get together in this anti-MLM community and use the Care Bear stare on.
Listen, that Care Bear stare is powerful.
You ever seen how they mess the enemies up? No heart.
Oh, you're talking. Yes, I have.
How they line up and blast him?
I grew up on Care Bears. It is serious.
Serious, dude.
Yeah, man.
So, is there infighting in the anti-MLM? I don't think so.
Is there what?
Infighting? Not that I'm aware of.
Anyway.
It's all the emotional women that be doing that.
Listen here, fella.
Sarcasm. It's sarcasm, y'all.
Infighting.
Yeah. I mean, I think in any group of people, there's going to be people that don't get along. There's going to be people that, you don't vibe with. There's going to be people that you're like, I love that they're putting content out, but it's not my jam. And I think that that's okay. I also think that in any group of people, there's going to be those that are bad apples, essentially. I think that happens in any group of people. So I think it's just, yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's making any sense, but.
It did make sense, Aaron. That was awesome.
Thanks, friend.
It did.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate you guys. Thank you.
It did.
And I mean, that's okay. There's people that, like, you don't have to get along with everybody.
I know.
I don't. So sassy. Oh, with the hood is cute. I love that. Yeah, you should. I love that for you merch with a Care Bear. Birdie says, Marco.
They love what?
I love that for you merch with a Care Bear.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
Write
we'll
that
get
down.
sued by the Care Bears Corporation for using their images,
yeah.
for sure. But
Well, just make it similar, but not but different.
Yeah. All right, love you guys, but that beanie had to go off. That was not my.
It's okay. I'm not taking this beanie off.
wow,
Jesus.
So much for solidarity.
I know. I'm sorry. I had to bow out. That one was rough.
So can you provide a disclaimer that you manipulated your audience into believing that you wear beanies and actually you don't?
Yeah.
Are you willing to do that?
No.
Wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
I will next time.
Oh God.
So I want to talk about
Julie Joe will likely not wear the beanie the entire live. Heads up.
unsubbed. I want to talk about something. It's your guys' thing, so y'all let me know if I'm overstaying my welcome or what.
No, you're good. We appreciate you being here.
Yeah, of course. Appreciate you having me. There is a thing happening next month in the greater DC area.
Mm-hmm.
I will be attending it in person. And it is I believe it's the third multi-level marketing conference. And no, it is not for people in the multi-level marketing industry. Oh, she went to wasted? There we go.
I love that.
So it is for, there's several speakers. There's going to be scholars and academics and people in the anti-MLM advocacy community, members of the FTC, lawyers, da 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 da. And so I think that is going to be a cool and productive thing. And I'm going to have the opportunity to address the members of the FTC directly. And I really want to ask them one thing. I want to ask them, despite the fact that the FTC has shut down over 30 companies for being pyramid schemes, these companies were considered legitimate multi-level marketing companies that sold products up until the moment they were shut down. Vima, very popular, very recent example of one of these companies. We're not a pyramid scheme. We sell products. Well, every pyramid scheme that's been shut down for being a pyramid scheme sold products. I'm sorry to break it to you.
Yep.
The official FTC position is that there is such a thing as a legitimate multi-level marketing company. I would ask the FTC, since they are the governing body around trade in the United States, name one.
Yes.
Name one company that doesn't display any one of the 4 red flags that they list on their website as to what might constitute a pyramid scheme or what to look out for as a red flag. Name one. There's hundreds of these MLM companies in the Direct Selling Association that are part of its, regulatory process, which is total nonsense. That's a whole nother thing. The DSA saying we regulate. It's like literally self-policing. You're letting them self-police. Of course, they're not going to self-police efficiently. So name one company. Name one company, since you guys are the authority on what a legitimate multi-level marketing company is. You must have dozens of examples that uphold this very stringent quota that you have for what constitutes legitimacy. Surely the Federal Trade Commission isn't turning a blind eye to these companies, or a little bit less of a worse idea that they're just completely unaware of what's happening under their very own nose. Name one company that operates totally legitimately in your purview. I would also like to ask them, and mind you, I only have a 5-minute window to talk, so I'm going to have to write it down the way that I want to. But I would also ask them to explain in layman's terms, what is the difference between a multi-level marketing company and a pyramid scheme? Because they claim that a multi-level marketing company can be a pyramid scheme, but they don't provide a definition, a concrete definition for what a pyramid scheme is.
Yeah.
So in the chat, I see you highlighted this comment. Somebody asks, what are the 4 red flags? I have it right here on the script for a new video I'm working on. I'm bit of a spoiler here. I'm working on a new addition to my Infiltrating a Pyramid Scheme series. This is a big video that I've been working on for a month now about Primerica. And Primerica is a company that doesn't sell a physical product. It sells, it's charged to your credit card. It's insurance and, investments and things of that nature. And I've been working on this video with Robert Fitzpatrick, CoffeeZilla. A couple people have been helping me with it. In the video, I'm going to, instead of talking about the cult aspects and the manipulation and sort of the things that are more difficult to quantify, like we mentioned before, I'm going to specifically focus on the FTC's own rules. I'm going to play by their rules so that there's no wiggling out of it. FTC says the warning signs of a pyramid scheme are: 1, promoters make extravagant promises about your earning potential. 2, promoters emphasize recruiting new distributors for your sales network as the way to make real money. 3, promoters play on your emotions or use high-pressure sales tactics, maybe saying you'll lose the opportunity if you don't act now, and discouraging you from taking time to study the company, from Googling it or something of that nature. And 4, distributors buy more products than they want to use or can resell just to stay active in the company or to qualify for bonuses or other rewards. Pretty standard stuff. I mean, if you've ever looked into one multi-level marketing company, even on a surface level, you will probably have seen all of these things displayed. So I would like to ask the FTC, what's a company in your direct selling association that doesn't do these things, and define what is a pyramid scheme?
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you can pretty much look at, you can look at any MLM comp plan. And when you look at the difference in pay from the commission versus any kind of team payout, whether it's a bonus, a sign-on bonus, getting paid off of their downline sales, those types of things. When you compare those two, like they would have to redo comp plans altogether, which if they get rid of the recruiting team volume, group volume, whatever side of that, now it's just affiliate marketing. And in my opinion, they all know that, well, okay, the comp plan shows that we have to recruit. You get paid off of other people's efforts. And then the justifying of doing that because you're helping them in their business. So like they would have to redo everything. And I can't imagine them listing one multi-level marketing company with a comp plan that has the sales side and the recruiting side, team bonuses, those types of things, saying that this is a legitimate multi-level marketing company. I don't think that that's a thing. I think they're all essentially in some way, shape, or form a pyramid scheme, whether it's through undue influence or how the comp plan is built out or whatever. That's just my opinion.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, if anybody else out there is going to be speaking at this thing, please don't steal my talking point. Talk about something else.
I'll hunt them down.
There's many different elements to talk about. You can go to, I believe it's MLMconference.com. Let me make sure so that I'm not actually sending people to a pro MLM thing here. Yeah, MLMconference.com. You can watch the videos from the previous 2 years, and the different chapters have multiple speakers in them. And some of them are creators that you will recognize. I know Steve Hassan has spoken at it, Savvy, Taylor, the Antibot. A few people have that are active in this community have spoken virtually at this thing in the past. But I would like for my contribution to be one that puts the FTC in a position of sort of pressure to actually answer a question that they should be able to answer, rather than me just giving my own anecdotal story and having them sit there and listen and then go about their day when it's done.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think that's a great question. I think that it's going to make them think. I'll be definitely curious to see how they answer that.
100%.
I'll definitely be, I want to know what they say for sure. Yeah. Savannah says, to be honest, I did a deep dive on that scrapbooking MLM. I forgot what it's called, LOL, but they kind of have a business model that you still recruit, but your bonuses are only 3 levels deep. Yeah. What is that? What is the name of that MLM?
I have no idea.
Julie Anderson says she would like access to the presentations. It's on there. The videos are on there, Julie.
That's awesome. And the bonuses were made from those 3 levels. We're very small. So
yes. And I also would like to say to both of you, as well as to everybody watching, I have noticed that historically things don't change, legally speaking, until there is such a noticeable public uproar. Mm-hmm. I was gonna say outcry, uproar, and I mixed them.
Yeah.
English. There's nothing never really changes until there is an uproar.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things historically that have been legal that have now been made illegal, and vice versa. In only the past 10 years, gay marriage was made legal and marijuana was made legal in most places. These are things that for decades and decades, the status quo was that they were illegal. That's the way it should be. And this is the way it's going to be. And it wasn't until people took to the street to protest and put pressure on, their government to change it. And unfortunately, I don't really think politicians really care either way. If they think that there's like a market or they think it's going to get them votes to take a certain stance, they'll do it. Obama, Joe Biden, and Hillary Clinton all opposed gay marriage only like 2 decades ago. When the culture changes and they see that it's going to be good for them, they'll change their mind too. So if there's a big enough public outcry about multi-level marketing, I think that there will be eventually some politician who's wise enough to go, oh, you know what? This would get me votes. This is like a hot button issue. Let me do this. And so I think it is important for everybody in the anti-MLM creator space to obviously keep doing what they're doing and spread awareness about the things that go on in these companies. However, at the same time, the FTC does not have the manpower to sit and watch all of our videos or watch the Instagram stories of people perpetrating the false earnings claims in MLM companies. It is up to us to actually report it and send it in. And I can't speak to the status of this, but in 2021, I urged people to file reports about a certain company. And I know over 1,000 people did. And I will tell you, without getting into specifics, it is worthwhile.
Yeah, I love that.
Amen.
And I think that that's also going to be, I know everybody say hi to Luna. I think that that is one of the things that is really powerful about the anti-MLM movement and how over the last several years it's gotten bigger and louder. Is it's creating that. It's creating a public outcry. And I think that that's the really cool part about it. Hi.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. I have been here long enough, so I'm gonna let y'all go.
All
We
right.
appreciate you, Marco.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on.
I appreciate you
And thanks
guys.
for having us on your channels. And thanks for doing the debate.
Yeah, it was great.
You know, we appreciate
Hell
it.
yeah. Hopefully he stops trying to ask people to debate going forward.
It's a good idea for him.
We can only hope.
Yeah. And thank you, Ivan, for that donation to Julie, saying you support me doing Primerica. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Ivan.
We're excited for that video to come out too, Marco.
It's coming.
I know.
All right,
We know.
y'all.
Bye.
Later.
Bye, my friend.
Bye.
If you haven't already subscribed to his channel, make sure that you do, because he's pretty darn cool, I would say. Also, I can't believe she's letting me hold her this long, you guys. Hi, mamas.
Yeah, and
Hi, baby.
I know that sometimes it's not always, what's the word? It's not always not easy, but like sometimes you're busy and you're not able to just sit down and do something, but it's not always convenient to
Convenient.
send something to FTC or, you know, turn something into the FTC, whatever. But that is one of the biggest things that you could do. Like if you really, really want to make an impact when it comes to anti-MLM, you could do it yourself too. Like you can just send, if you see something, just send it. You see something that goes, oh, medical claim. And you know, you could do like a big drop too. Have a folder of stuff. I don't know, but
A Google Drive.
Yeah, sending this stuff to the FTC is huge. Time to have FTC Discord parties again. Yay.
Yeah, I know. It's been a long time since that. Yeah. Yeah. And I honestly, I think the easiest way is to create a Google Drive, and you can download. There are so many free websites and apps that you can use to download content from different social media platforms, because we know that they're going to delete it. You know, a lot of times they delete something, you know? And so if you are able to download it, if you're able to screen record it, if you're able to provide the link to the social media platform, to their profile or whatever, and then just send it in once a week or send it in once a month or whatever, and have it all in the Google Drive. And, you know, that, I think that probably would be the easiest way, and to keep it organized for the FTC, because we also want to make it easy for them to go, okay, here's what we have.
Yeah. The anti-MLM movement, the movement's been around a little while, more than 2 years, but it's significantly grown the past 2 years in a
Yeah.
very, very big way.
Yeah.
Genuine question. Isn't the infighting within the community affecting viewers' motivation to submit to FTC? I know when everything came out, I just felt icky like being a part of it last year. I don't think, I didn't see anything like that. I don't know why it would, because you don't have to go through like some random MLM website or anti-MLM website to do it. You just should go to the FTC.
Yeah.
I think. I would hope not, because it's simply just turning in something to the FTC. I don't know. I don't see it, Camilla, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna make dinner and check on the kids. Gavin needed something, so I kind of feel bad that I haven't gone out there yet, but I'm sure he's fine. It's probably a homework question, actually.
Yeah. Oh.
So, yeah. I mean, Camilla, your feelings are valid. I think that it's always important to remind people, you know, their feelings are valid, and you know, if you,
Camilla said thanks for answering, JJ. I said, yeah, no problem at all. I try to answer questions I see, you know, I try to pop them up.
Yeah, I think that remembering that the reason that we are doing what we are doing is to cause change, hopefully in the future. And we all have to do that collectively. And so submitting stuff that we see, we appreciate, I'm going to speak for both of us. I know, because I know JJ feels the same way. We appreciate everything that you guys send us. And what we can't cover, we share with other content creators, and that's really, really important. But we also need you guys, you know, to partner with us in that and get stuff sent over to the FTC yourself as well. Yeah, just like Brandy says, be the change. Yeah. So if you don't know how to set up a Google Drive and stuff, just go to YouTube and do a quick, how do I set up a Google Drive search? And there's tons of resources on YouTube. So yeah, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Let's not forget like what we're doing here, you know, that's what drives me. So, okay. Thank you guys for being here.
Marco.
Oh, we love you, Marco.
We love you too.
We're glad that you're back.
Yeah, you're being great too.
Yeah. It's been really cool to develop a relationship with Marco, and just the private like conversations, and even the private conversations. I know JJ and I have talked about it, that we had when we were recording our episodes of Multi-Level Misery and stuff like that. And some really cool stuff. Some really cool stuff is coming. So, all right. You got anything else, JJ?
No.
Don't join an MLM.
I'm tired. I'm so sleepy.
Yeah,
Bye, everybody. Y'all have
we love you guys.
Have a
Bye,
great
everybody.
Bye.